Donald Trump is winning, and he's like continue to win. And I just think I like to take note of it because there was a while there where it was looking so perilous for him. It looked like he might be imprisoned any day. It looked like he might spend the rest of his life in prison. And now George Stephanopoulos having to publicly apologize for what he said about the man. And then they've got to give him $15 million for his museum/library, plus $1 million more for his legal fees. And it's like, what a fucking embarrassment for them. What a win for Trump.
He said that Trump was found in court to be a rapist. But in New York, forcibly pinning a woman against the wall and penetrating with her fingers is sexual assault, not exactly rape. And the judge said, make no mistake, what Trump did is commonly known as rape. And we're holding him like to that standard. But legally, from a criminal perspective, that's just sexual assault. So to be clear, Donald Trump pinned a woman against the wall and forcibly penetrated her without her consent with his fingers, but not his penis, which means it's not rape in New York. In other states, it's rape. But in New York, he is merely a sexual assault.
Is this that kook Carol?
Yes.
Jean Carroll?
Yeah, and
yeah. I think who was on Anderson Cooper and they had to go to break. Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember her.
I mean, she is an older gal. Her memory maybe not as good as it used to be. Leave her alone, Taylor. She's a victim.
Okay.
A very rich victim.
So they had to give $15 million to Trump's charity, which I suspect is just to give $15 million to Trump.
That's right? How they all work. Yeah, that's
maybe you're right. But yeah. So anyway, because Trump, like, no one's really sure. She's like, I'm not sure if his penis was in me or not, but definitely fingers. He's a sexual assaulter, not a rapist, and that's why he had.
Or maybe sexual abuse or sexual battery. It was one of those, and I feel like at this point it's important to get it right. Because
right. I don't want to get sued.
Because I remember him saying he was interviewing that pretty Republican Congresswoman who wanted to keep the trans person out of her bathroom on Capitol Hill, whatever her name is. He was interviewing her, and he was like, "How can you support one who's been found legally culpable of rape?" And she's
was it Nancy Mace?
She's pretty. She's 40, late 40s, and she's the one who was going after the trans person. No, not. I don't know her name. I don't know her fucking name. But it was her. That was the scenario. But yeah, that's a win. I'd love to be in the room with him when he gets the news. I just want to see what's his reaction to that. Is he just like, yeah, fucking got him. Does he have to publicly apologize? Are we talking text, or does he have to say the words? Like, I want to see what's his reaction to that.
Did you see the apology? I haven't seen it. Did you do it yet?
No, I don't. I have no idea. Okay. I would imagine he just tweeted out and
I don't know.
Something.
Is he the only guy that is being forced to apologize?
Well, he was sued, and ABC was sued, I think.
As far as I know,
whatever network,
okay.
And this just happened where this was settled.
And now it looks like Trump's shutting the government down. So there was this. All right. So here's my take on it. I'm going to try to do this unbiased. At the moment, for another 30 days, the Democrats have the Senate and the executive branch, but not the House. So the budget bill they put together for right now it's seemingly Democrat friendly. It has more stuff they want, but some of the stuff the Republicans want. And that's because all the Republicans have is a very slim House majority, which isn't the strongest negotiating standpoint. Well, Elon Musk saw this bill and didn't like it. So he tweeted out that it'd be better to shut the government down until they go into power. And Trump wants something similar. He may want the debt limit raised under Biden, so that he doesn't have to deal with that shit. Pin that on the other guy. Don't raise the debt limit on me. I don't want to be the guy that signs it. Do it before I get there. So we will see whether they choose to shut the government down or do this bill and a debt ceiling limit that would have otherwise not come due until June. The June part is fuzzy, but it's something close to that. And in America, we have this terrible system where first we authorize what we're going to spend, and then we authorize the ability to mint that money. And they're two different things. And people are happy to authorize the spending, but usually they fight about the debt limit. And Trump is like, let's just do that fight before I take office. So it doesn't paint me in a negative way. we're watching to see how it plays out. I hope I did that unbiased.
Yeah, you probably did. The two things that I thought were notable was it was a 1,500-page bill, and it includes a pay raise for Congress. Those are obviously the things that I take issue with. It's like,
how do you feel about the Perrys? Because I'm okay with it, but my mind is open.
They deserve a cut. Like why would they get a raise? Why would they get a raise?
How about we multiply it? How about we multiply it by 5 and make it illegal for them to own any stocks or do any trading?
Ooh, okay. That actually ties into my take on it. That's an interesting thought, because here, I think if you criminally underpay people who could otherwise make a lot more, just as a hypothetical, I'm not saying they are, then you're really just almost mandating them to be dirty, blackmailable. You know, if you're a congressman, then you are rubbing elbows with people who make $1 million a year all the time. And if you're at 175, well, I'm not going to call 175 broke. These are people who could all make more somewhere else. They haven't had a raise for 20 years. Almost, it's like, what, 18 years, something close to that. And they're trying to change it from 175 to 225, which I don't know. Somehow that feels like in the same ballpark to me, but it's also, is it 40% more? It's incalculable. So, anyway, yeah, they want to go from 175 to 225. Neither of those numbers seem wildly overpaid for like a position of that stature to me.
Look at their approval rating. Look at what their boss thinks of them, the taxpayer. You know what I mean? Like, this is the employee that needs more money. Like, maybe we need to flush out people. Maybe they're voting.
They need a bonus system.
A bonus,
right? Like,
for passing bills.
Well, I was thinking more like you only get paid when the budget's balanced, or like that. You know, like
whose idea was that to fire them? Maybe Mark Cuban or somebody. He's like, that they lose their jobs if the budget isn't balanced that year or something like that.
I'm sure it's been said before me.
What if we include a stipend that they get that's smaller, and also they are forbidden from taking any job in the private sector for 10 years after they leave office? And that would prevent this shit where they do favorable legislation for companies like Boeing or Raytheon or Lockheed Martin, and then immediately go from head of the Foreign Affairs Committee to on the board of those organizations.
No, just freeze them out and let them take those jobs.
Just
fix that. Just freeze. They shouldn't take any private sector jobs on something they have oversight over as a politician.
They wait until afterward and then they go. And so they basically.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You disallow that. You make it, put 5 years on it, put 10 years.
Or spouses.
Yeah. Yes. Good addendum there, Wendigoon. Yeah. Just do that for like 10 years and pay them enough that it makes sense that you would still get intelligent people, but also like fully make it illegal that they can trade stocks. Like, I don't know if it really, like, think of how fucking insane that is. That these people can make decisions that they know before even large trading firms know are going to impact the price of stocks, and then they make boatloads.
Well, no, it's worse than that. They know they're going to move the market, and so they react before they move the market. It's as corrupt as it gets. And when you look at Nancy Pelosi being, what is her fortune up to now? Is it 200 million or something crazy?
She's not the world's greatest investor.
I'm glad she fell and broke her hip. I'll tell you that.
Did she fall and get fucked up?
Yeah, a little whoopsie daisy. You don't come back from those at 80.
You didn't hear that? She did fall and break her hip.
Didn't her husband get murdered?
No, he just got hammered up a little.
Yeah, he got attacked. That's right.
But
he's better now.
Probably everybody knows. But when you break your hip as an elderly person like that, some huge number die in the next like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Like, it is semi-fatal.
Apparently it's like one of the most easy surgeries. I think more than other surgeries, it's apt to get infected. And that's just combined with like, it's an old person too.
I wonder what AOC thought when she heard that, because I just know they hate each other. I know she wants those oversight positions, and the old
AOC wants to have the biggest hits in Congress. And she's happy.
She's on the breast envy subreddit.
She is. Yeah. She's on the big breast.
Man, they took down her sexy subreddit. I was.
Did they?
Oh yeah, a while ago. It's been months now.
we should make a Wolverine.
We need more money into the industrial complex.
For now, we're safe, dude.
If they took all that Ukraine money and said we were making Wolverines,
I'd be like, sold.
I'd be like,
let's make Wolverine.
You think that's funny? You know, 2 kids injected themselves with fucking elemental mercury trying to become Wolverine.
Shit, we better spend $2 trillion to prevent that.
It did not work.
No, What happened? Did they get a different power?
They yeah. No, they actually lived. Apparently, you could just inject yourself with a big syringe of mercury and you'll be okay. You know,
there's no way it'll make.
I mean, not okay, but they're fine now.
That's gonna like get through your blood-brain barrier and make you retarded.
It didn't though. Nah, they were all right. I mean, they weren't that smart to begin with. They injected.
Yeah, of course not. Maybe they were immune. Maybe that's the true superpower.
These are Rhodes Scholars shooting fucking mercury or something over here. They're already dum-dums. They wanted to become. It's literally what Mac joked about, like becoming creating a superhero by like having sex with a person strong enough or something. Like, no, can't become Wolverine. Yeah, I'd be okay with some Wolverines, a Project X, if you will. Although, as you know, that's a Canadian group of super individuals empowered through various means. No, I'm a little worried about our neighbors to the north. I see Trudeau getting ran through the ringer by El Presidente Trump, President-elect Trump. It seems like Trump invited him down for that little powwow, and then afterwards he was like, yeah, it didn't go so well. I think the tariffs are the way. So he's getting a lot of pressure back home in Canada. And I think he's up for election next year, right? I think 2025 is the Canadian. I
don't understand how Canadian elections work, but it seems like he's in hot water, and the French guy too.
Yeah, like Macron. You see the approval ratings for like unpopular American politicians, and it'll be like Biden will be like 35, like that's our
30s and 40s.
Yeah, that's like our terrible. Like everybody's like, oh, 32%. This is great. Like you look at the approval rating of like Trudeau and Macron, and it's like 8. It's everybody.
I think that's just because, like, in the United States, and I can't speak for Canada because I'm not Canadian, but in the United States, like, a bunch of people do not care about who the politician is. There are people who are Democrats and people who are Republican. And until, like, a candidate executes someone on live television, they may lose part of their base, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why you have, like, a hard 35% that are not moving on either
Makes
side.
sense. Yeah. They have like 100 parties over there.
My grandparents to this day will not vote anything other than Democrat, because when they were like back in the 60s, like the Democrats in Kentucky were the ones who were like funding the coal mines. So to this day, they're just like, whichever the blue one is, check. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Democracy. They might be out of date on that. I'm not sure the Democrats are still the ones funding the coal mines.
No,
yeah, they don't check. That's how it works. It's just like I don't turn on the news. I close my eyes.
That's
boom,
why
and now
advertisers don't waste their time with people over 35. Like you can't get them to change shampoo. They decided when they were 21. That's who you're targeting.
Done. Exactly. Yeah.